much for your patience. We are all learning things, and Facebook and Zoom have decided not to talk to each other anymore. We're working on reunification of the two, and it's just not working. So Sherry and I have spent, God bless Sherry Grant, she spent over 2 and some hours with me today trying to figure out how to make this work. And we thought we might have it, and we did not have it. So that's where the last 8 minutes of our lives has gone. We were trying so hard to stream into the Leader Lounge, but we're so thankful that you were patient and that you're here. And yeah, so super happy. I am going to take 2 seconds and go and get a very special bottle. Sherry is actually going to open us up because I know why you're all here. And it's not to listen to me right now. Maybe you'll give that to me later. You're here because you want to hear about Iron Woman, right? And I mean, Sherry Grant could be called Iron Woman, but she's going to talk to us about iron and the new Iron Woman product and all of the things. So Sherry, if you want to unmute yourself, that would be super great. And I'm actually going to spotlight your video because Sherry has also learned, guys, I just love this woman. We're going to spotlight her because she's got a really cool presentation. Okay, hang on.
Okay, I hope you can hear me for starters.
Yes, we can.
Better make sure we can hear. Okay. And I'm going to see if I can bring up the chat. This is all this fun stuff with the new things, new views, new things, all the things. Okay, so we're going to get started. Oh, no, didn't get the chat. Oops, got something else going over here. Let's get the chat. There we go. Okay. I know you've all seen the information about Iron Woman. I know you're all excited about Iron Woman. But what I want to talk to you about is the things that, first of all, the things that you can have access to and that everybody can have access to, because when you go to shop, the information's there. So if we just are going to hop along into some of these first pieces about what Iron Woman is, then we're going to talk a little bit about why, who it's for, and who it's maybe not for. So as we get started, we're going to talk about iron. And why would someone need iron? Well, you've probably seen some of the advertising that 1 in 3 women have a shortage of iron. And in actuality, the mineral that is the most deficient in the world is iron in terms of human health. So it is a big deal. What you see on this slide are some of the things that it tells us that Iron Woman can do that are these are things that we can say, okay? These are the claims that are available from the US information on Iron Woman, from promoting advanced iron absorption, helping maintain cellular energy. I'm not going to go through them all because these are all things that you've probably already read. Now, what you may have thought about, or you may not have, is that iron's available in different forms. You may be somebody that tried iron in the past, found that it bothered your stomach, found that it created constipation. Because this formulation is a ferrous fumarate, it is rated more favorably than other forms in terms of the body's ability to absorb it. If you've heard, and you may have, that a liquid iron is easier absorbed, easier on your system, yes, that's likely true. True based on a comparison with ferrous sulfate, which was typically administered in a tablet. So ferrous gluconate is usually in a liquid, ferrous sulfate is in a tablet. Ferrous fumarate, the kind that Plexus has chosen to use, is being delivered in a capsule. The other piece in terms of looking at the different irons is if it's a prescription iron, the dosage is going to be very different than a supplement with iron that is available without a prescription. So just some of the details in terms of differences. Now, what is with the iron? And this is another piece that's quite different than many, many other iron formulations. So vitamin C, which will boost the absorption of iron from plant sources by converting it into a more absorbable form. There's cysteine with the iron in Iron Woman, which is an amino acid which aids in iron absorption. Cysteine in the natural form is found in most high protein foods. So I don't know, maybe most of you haven't had the experience I did, but I was always recommended to me that I should have liver once a week, and that was all about iron, to make sure I was receiving enough iron. And liver is high in cysteine, which also helps iron be absorbed. So if you're one of these people that is having liver once a week, liver and onions in particular, because onions also has cysteine, that's a really great way to boost your iron naturally. If you're not one of those people, then we need to look for other ways to get our iron and to get it absorbed. Now, the third item with the iron in Iron Woman is a probiotic, and it's Lactoplant Bacillus plantarum. Now, it's a probiotic strain that enhances iron absorption because it increases iron bioavailability, because it helps to heal the gut, and a healthier gut absorbs more iron. So, and then of course, the iron in Iron Woman is a ferrous fumarate source. So easily absorbed by the body. Now, you heard me say the name of the probiotic, Lactoplanta Bacillus plantarum. Well, it turns out the bacterial world got a family reunion and they rearranged the naming system. So Lactobacillus plantarum, which we're very familiar with, it's in all of our other probiotic formulations. So it's in ProbioCA, it's in Probio5, and it's in VitalBiome. That is the same probiotic that is in Iron Woman. So these probiotics are ones that we know work well, and we know work well for us. So why do we need extra iron? Well, like I said earlier, the most common nutritional deficiency in the world. Many women of childbearing age have low iron. Health Canada says 29%, according to their new estimates. And in a study of more than 44,000 pregnancies in Ontario over a period of 5 years, more than half of them were affected by low iron. So what does a deficiency of iron look like? Well, paleness, white skin. I can remember when somebody asked me, did I not have any color in my skin because I was so white? Yeah, probably low iron. Irritability, depression, brain fog, forgetfulness, trouble focusing, headaches, lack of energy, tiring easily, muscle pain during exercise, reduced immune function, decreased thermoregulatory performance like cold feet, cold hands, hair loss, restless legs. When you're hearing these things, these are things that we're often addressing with Triplex, with other Plexus products. And so then you hear someone saying, but it's not working for me. It's just not working. I must be different. It's not working for me. Well, maybe the reason is that they're still iron deficient. They actually need additional iron. Not everyone needs additional iron. And as we'll talk a little bit later, when you combine iron with certain foods, it's less absorbable, and with other foods, it's more absorbable. So there's a very good reason that we do not add iron in general to a general multivitamin, because it would not be well absorbed. And that's why Plexus has chosen to make it in a separate formulation. So if any of you have heard of pica, it's a craving for non-food things like ice and dirt. It's a definite indicator of low iron. There are numerous nail changes that indicate low iron. Tachycardia, shortness of breath. Iron deficiency is a big deal. It's an especially big deal for pregnant women because their iron needs dramatically increase, like 50% more than normal. And if they're deficient in iron, it will affect their unborn child. And that is actually been linked to early childhood learning challenges. So it's a big deal. And yeah, Jimmy says in the chat, my sister ate dirt as a kid. Yeah, and ice, exactly. It's a symptom of an iron deficiency. And if we knew these things, just think of how much better we could make it for people. So iron is necessary. It's necessary for hemoglobin, which is a part of our red blood cells that carry oxygen and remove carbon dioxide, which is a waste product from the body. Iron is obtained in foods from our diet, just in general. So as long as we're eating iron-rich foods, enough of them, we could be getting enough iron in our diet. So, and this is where I want you to kind of think about who you're talking to. So, me, menopausal, no longer having menstrual cycles, in a very different position in my gut health now, and my need for iron is likely much less than some other people. However, my 13, 14, 15, 16-year-old granddaughters likely are all low on iron, unless they're having their liver every week. And I think one of them might actually be on the call, and she can chime in if she's getting her liver every week. I've actually gotten to where we do our own beef. So I actually have the liver ground up and added to all the ground beef. So if she's getting ground beef from my house, she's getting some liver. I think the other piece is, even though there's iron in the protein, we're not absorbing all of it. So only 1 milligram of iron is absorbed for every 10 to 20 milligrams ingested. And that's if our gut is working well. So what has iron in it? Well, all of our red meats, poultry, fishes, and in the vegetable side, leafy greens like cabbage, broccoli, kale, legumes like lima beans and green peas. There are a lot of foods that have iron in them. Enhancing the iron absorption, you can do that by making sure that you're eating foods rich in vitamin C at the same time that you're eating those high iron foods, as well as the other items that we mentioned earlier that are in Iron Woman, the cysteine, the probiotics. Now, iron is present in two forms in our food. In red meat, it's in heme form. So in protein, that means, and typically that's because there's cysteine in addition to the minerals. That's part of the additional absorption potential. There's also non-heme iron. Now, non-heme iron is typically found in plant food. The heme iron, our body readily absorbs like up to 40%, but the non-heme iron is absorbed much less efficiently. So, children, adolescents, women of reproductive age, most particularly at risk. Vitamin A also helps to release iron that the body stores, so adequate vitamin A is also important in preventing iron deficiency anemia. You'll see that Plexus has chosen to combine X Factor Plus in some of their packages so that we're getting some of these additional sources of supplements that will help with absorption. We'll talk a little bit later about timing of taking these things. So sources of beta carotene and vitamin A are things like carrots, sweet potatoes, squash, apricots, oranges. Some of those have vitamin C as well as vitamin A. There are also foods that hinder iron absorption. So when you combine those, you get less of the iron that's actually in the food you're eating. So even a small amount of phytates can significantly decrease iron absorption. So phytic acid is found in foods like whole grains or cereals. Now, if you've got beans or lentils, that's one of the reasons why soaking them is such a good idea, because it helps to remove the phytic acid. Regarding supplements, calcium is one of the ones that should be taken at a different time of day than iron. So if you are also taking a calcium supplement, perhaps your doctor said for bone health, you should take a calcium supplement, then you need to separate it from your iron supplement because there's evidence that shows the iron absorption is reduced if they're taken together. So if you take your iron supplement with a glass of milk, probably not the best practice. Now, the elephant in the room, so to speak, and many of you will have heard of someone who has high iron levels. So iron toxicity from food sources is rare. Once it's consumed, your body in a healthy gut, in a healthy system, has its own balancing system to make sure that it gets just enough. However, it can be fatal if you have an overdose of iron. This is why the lid on the iron on Iron Women will be childproof. It's also why you'll put it on a high shelf. It's also why you'll take note of things that diarrhea, metallic taste in the mouth, black stools. These are symptoms that you might be ingesting more iron than your body needs. So if that happens, or if you take an iron and you find, oh, it's not working real well, I'm feeling uncomfortable. There's some really good evidence that taking one every second day is just as beneficial with fewer side effects. So these statistics are based on the other forms of iron. So typically ferrous sulfate is the one that in the past has created the most side effects. However, ferrous fumarate could, in someone who is sensitive to that, or someone who is on the edge, even if they're really, really low in iron, increasing their iron just a little bit could shift everything in their gut for them. We actually want that to happen, but we want it to happen gently and slowly for them. So having one every second day, having one every third day is totally fine in terms of helping someone get some iron support gently, and they can move up as is appropriate for them. Because some of the people you'll deal with have had some bad experiences with iron supplementation, so they may have some fears based on the historical formulations that they were using. So I think I've kind of dumped enough stuff on you for the moment. And maybe we could go back to not spotlighting me. and we could talk about some of the things in the chat. And I see Darlene saying she craved ice when she was pregnant. Yeah, probably could have used a bit more iron. Yeah. Catherine, almost certainly not getting enough liver. Yeah, I'd agree. So really, taking Iron Woman with food is a good thing. Taking it with vitamin C is a good thing. Taking it with other vegetable sources is a good thing. Probably not with your glass of milk. But Catherine, in this case, as a dairy-free girl, I think you got this covered. Janelle's showing the container. And can you show the capsules, Janelle? They are so cute.
I can't.
They're the cutest pink capsules. And they're little.
They're little. They're like a Vital Biome size.
The other iron supports that I've seen or experienced in the past have been tablets and like horse tablet size. So, yeah.
So you can take it with anything, like ProBioCA works fine, Vital Biome works fine. This was very interesting because so as part of the 30-day trial, we weren't allowed to know anybody else who was also doing the trial. So we couldn't be like, hey, are you experiencing this? Or hey, are you doing like, it's not like when you start something and all your friends are starting it too, you can't ask any questions. You can't ask anybody any questions because you've got the NDA that you've signed. So you can't say anything. But I have a very sensitive stomach even still. Could not take X Factor Plus on an empty stomach. I would throw up. This did not bother me at all. I took it on an empty stomach in the morning, 0 problems. Took it at night, no problems, didn't keep me awake. I've heard feedback from other people who could not take other iron supplements and who were desperately anemic because everything always made them nauseous. And this did not do that to them at all. So it's sort of like they told us you could take it with food, you can take it without food, like try different times a day, see how you feel. All those things. I will say that I did not think that I was iron deficient when I signed up for this. I actually didn't know what I was signing up for. They just sent out a questionnaire and I answered the questions, and apparently I answered it to the point where they were like, this girl needs this. I will say, so this is just my very short testimonial. Over the last 3 or 4 years, I have been getting more headaches more frequently. And just naggy headaches, but sorry, we have one man on here, but I know you're used to us, Dave. We love you. The day before my cycle, I would have a massive headache and still have a massive headache and nothing touches it. It doesn't matter what it is, nothing touches it. My month on Iron Woman, no headache the day before my cycle, and a great decrease in general headaches throughout the month. I also noticed that my energy was different. Like everything we take is, to improve energy, but I still found that at the end of the day, I was starting to fight some fogginess and I needed to go to bed and whatever. I actually felt really, really sustained energy. And then when I would lay down, I'd be like, oh, yeah, I could sleep now. So, yeah.
So even though and even though we've talked mostly about it for women.
Oh, totally could be for men if they need it.
There's actually quite a percentage of men who are low iron, and some of the symptoms they'll actually recognize in themselves. The other thing is Plexus will never recommend this for children, but if you saw something in that you think is valuable, you may want to have a conversation with your medical support system, whatever that is, in terms of what your child might benefit from.
Well, the thing that Sherry and I were talking about earlier, I think it was today or maybe it was yesterday. Maybe you don't feel like this is something that you need all the time, but if you are like pre-menopause, taking this during your cycle or those first few days before or the few days after as a replenishment is not a horrible idea. So.
Can we recommend this for men? Like, I feel like men may not want to think about taking it because it says Iron Woman, but I actually currently know someone an older male who's struggling with hemoglobin. And so when this came out, I was thinking, oh, that actually could help.
Yeah. If he would consider taking an iron supplement, I would have this would be the first suggestion I would make. What do you say, Sherry?
Yeah, I 100% agree. I mean, we know women that take male hormones because they need to get the balance, and it absolutely, it's a gentle form of iron that if someone is low, it's the first thing I would suggest. That made me think, Tricia, and I'm going to do a little more looking into it. As I'm sure everybody here knows, my husband had a heart attack a number of years ago and is on blood pressure pills and does take all the Plexus things. But just thinking, I'm going to check his last blood tests, which he just took to check all those hemoglobin levels and check to see what the iron levels are at. Because, it's an interesting thought.
Yeah. Totally. All right, if you guys have any other questions, you can always ask in your upline support chat. You can message if you're in the silver chat. We can do that there with the new product. Did somebody was starting to say something. Jimmy, was that you?
Yeah, I was just gonna say for people who don't eat meat, this is really
Yes.
perfect. Like I have a few vegetarians on my team.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Catherine?
I'm gonna make a quick comment off this Iron Woman thing, but talking specifically about active actually. So I started up my job and didn't realize the hours it would entail, which is 14-hour days right now. Let me tell you, that's been a little rough, but just something I know everybody at my work, they have coffee in the morning, coffee at lunchtime, coffee at coffee time, and then coffee right before we finish up the last 3 hours of our shift. And I know I get offered coffee all the time there now, and I sweetly decline. But I've been having 2 active a day. I've gotten my times figured out on when I need to take those, and that is super, super important. Active is it's a great thing. And so you can get off that coffee and just having, even if one doesn't do it for you, I need that extra. If I'm working till 9 at night, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have one at 4 p.m. and I'm gonna get through that last 5 hours of the day. Because it's tough. And so I actually had a friend, she's working 12-hour shifts as a nurse, carried, and she just sent me a picture of all the energy drinks she's taking tonight to stay awake for her night shift tonight. And I promptly said, how many is there actually? Because I'm pretty sure I didn't count them all. And there was 10 that she's planning on taking tonight. And so I don't know about you, but I'm talking to that girl about Active, and we're gonna get it figured out because she lives right down the door next from me for the summer. And so her and I are gonna get that figured out. But so just
She
heads
might
up.
not live that long.
Yeah, that was
like-
noted.
1,500 milligrams of caffeine.
Yep. Yep. I've advised her to not take all of that. So yeah,
Okay.
like
Well, maybe a little iron will give you a little more energy too.
yeah. So that's just a heads up that there is people that drink a lot of coffee and a lot of energy drinks to get through the days that I'm going through right now. And I'm on 2 active a day. Just saying. Just saying. And I'm still taking all my regular stuff too. So
I think we need a moment of silence for this friend. I'm
Yeah.
a 2-a-day girl often as well, Catherine. Yeah.
I always have been. And so I've always been a morning one and an afternoon, but it's when in the afternoon to get through the rest of my day is where I've been trying to figure out. And so I've been taking it at 4 p.m. And that's been getting me through the rest of my hours. But yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have any other questions? Otherwise, I think we're just about finished tonight.
So glad to see all of you here and are so excited about this product. Don't forget that we have that free shipping, sorry, 1 cent. Can I say free? Because it's 1 cent. It is 1 cent shipping tax from the NFR/PUP, whatever we want to call it. All I know is that it saves you a lot of money. So, and I love that we're getting this every month. I am enjoying, and that's what's in my cup right now. I'm kind of sad. My last Blueberry Acai Hydrate, along with my Berry Brave collagen. Did you guys know you can get a berry flavored collagen and it's delicious? It's really great. Just had my extensions moved up today, and I'm pretty sure that collagen has been growing my hair a little faster. So, yep, good news. Don't forget, you've got, along the lines of Active, we've got all those things, the different flavors. And while we're praying for the friend on the energy drink train, we're also going to pray that Plexus is going to bring back Slim Sweet Tea and the Cucumber Melon Hydrate. I have heard nothing official, you guys, but we could just, it would be so great. How many of you guys are out of your Slim Sweet Tea? Sherry doesn't count. We're not going to talk to her because she probably bought like 25 bags. So I ran out. My favorite thing, guys, I think that there's something to the Slim Sweet Tea, but I was having it with lemon Hydroplex twice a day, and so good. Oh, sorry.
Sweet tea, Slim with peach mango, Active. The bomb.
Teresa, you
best.
need to try it with the lemon Hydroplex or with
Oh yeah,
lemon juice or with lime juice.
lemon hydroplex and sweet tea.
I forgot one major thing actually that I noticed with Iron Woman that I will leave with you. I decided to weigh myself pretty frequently throughout the month. And I don't know if you guys are like this. My weight usually fluctuates about 5 pounds depending on where I'm at in the month.
Okay.
It did not move a 0.1 of a pound. And I was like, this is weird, like genuinely weird. And then I was thinking about it. So either it was the Slim Sweet Tea, I don't know. Or it was the Iron Woman.
Hmm.
And a lot of people talked about weight loss or being able to maintain a healthy weight on the Iron Woman. So I'm just going to put that out there as another one of those questionable. I don't know why I felt the way I felt. But my weight never, like, I mean, I was weighing myself at exactly the same time every day, like in the morning, and it didn't move a 0.1 of a pound. So there's that. Anyway, well, thanks, Sherry, for your amazing presentation. Yay. Yay, Sherry. She asked me if she had a 3-minute time limit, and I told her she could talk as long as she wanted to. So I think we all benefited greatly. Hey, if you are not doing the watch party this month with Team Awesome, if you left that team chat where we were doing the Star Diamonds Rising, yep, that's it, replays, we will put you back in if you want to go back in. They're doing a new series Mondays and Tuesdays and Thursday mornings. Wednesdays is work and worship. Friday is follow-up Friday. So 3 days a week, there's a little video and then we do a little chat and it's about 30 minutes long. It's been really great. So I did put the links, all the links in the silver chat today. So there's that. And the other thing, not this week, this weekend, we're doing the conclusion of The Gap and the Gain. Yeah, there it is. Conclusion of The Gap and the Gain. Next week, we're on the High Road Leader. So get your copy and we'll let you know where you need to read to on for next week. We will get that to you ASAP. All right, guys, have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Thank you for your time and we will see you around all the places. Bye.